please welcome your Salesforce Admin Community Trailblazers.
Good morning and welcome to the 2023 Admin Keynote at Dreamforce. My name is Eric Smith, and I'm here with my fellow awesome admins, Co Forte and Katie Villanueva, to kick off this year's keynote.
Thanks, Eric. So, as you might see, you might recognize us from the Salesforce Admins podcast, which is streaming on all available platforms and obviously features great guests. So today you're going to hear how even more awesome admins are using the power of Salesforce to navigate challenges and to deliver the future of business.
We're so happy you're here, awesome admins. And now I'd like to introduce today's host to the Admin Keynote, Principal Admin Evangelist, and co-host of the Salesforce Admin Podcast, Jillian Bruce.
Thank you for that amazing introduction. Hold on a second. Look at this room. I don't think there is an empty seat in this house. Thank you all for being here in person at Dreamforce, and thank you for tuning in on Salesforce Plus, my favorite streaming platform. Thank you all for being here. Being here together is really what it's about as a community, as us being here at Dreamforce. And here's the thing, together is how we learn, together is how we grow, and together is how we have a little bit of fun. And that's what we're going to do today. Welcome to the Salesforce Admins Keynote. This is amazing. This community means so much to me. It is so amazing to be in this room surrounded by so many awesome admins. And here's what is amazing about this community. We have really been on a journey together. Yes. Over the last decade alone, I think I've been lucky enough to be part of this community for just over 13 years. Back in the day, we used to click a big green button to launch an app wizard to build an app. Now, we've got an app builder where we can build really rich custom experiences. We used to build automations using workflow rules. Now, we've got Flow Builder. We can build complex processes and automate them in ways we never really imagined. All that to say, technology's changed. The platform has grown from supporting a very small set of core features to now an incredibly robust platform that can do everything from marketing automation to integrations. And that's on you. You as a Salesforce admin are under pressure to put all of this innovation to work. Your organizations, your companies are expecting you to do this. And we've been there along the way to support you here and there. You know, we launched the first ever Awesome Admin newsletter back in 2013, which I affectionately really wanted to call the Awesome Admin Roundup. Needless to say, that name got changed by smarter people than me. But we have been there with you along the way to support this evolution, to support this journey. Just last year, we released the Salesforce Admin Skills Kit, which I know a lot of you are very familiar with. And even though we've been there to support you, you're the ones who have been delivering the success, who have been making the impact. Look at these stats. 1.3 automations per month. That is hundreds of thousands of hours that you have saved your organizations. 2.7 billion reports run per month. That is delivering actual analytics in a way that is just staggering. And 230,000 objects created last month. That means that you are being innovative. You are creating new customized solutions to help your organization succeed. But here's the stat I want you to pay attention to. 1 trillion AI predictions run per week. Who's bringing those to life? You are. Admins, AI is not new to you. You've been using things like Einstein Next Best Action, say that 10 times fast, Einstein Prediction Builder, and Einstein Bots to bring the power of AI to your organizations to help them succeed. So when we're talking about the AI revolution, which is, I think, has anyone not heard of that yet at Dreamforce? No? We're talking about this AI revolution, this data revolution. Admins, we are poised to lead the way with this. because you're doing all of this work with the Salesforce platform. So whether you're building customized service resolution processes in Service Cloud, or you're building beautiful data visualizations with Tableau, you're doing it all with the platform. So all of these new innovations we have with AI, with Data Cloud, they're all built on our platform, in our platform, which means you already have the skills to use these tools and to deliver success with them. And you are the ones to lead your organizations in this AI revolution, in this data revolution, and you can lead with trust. We talk a lot about trust at Salesforce because it's our #1 value. And it's critically important when you're talking about AI to focus on trust, because the first questions that come up are all about, what about my data? What is it going on? Well, guess what? Your data is not our product. Our platform is our product. Your data is yours. And so all the existing metadata infrastructure and framework that we have across our platform to protect your data so that you can control it, so that you can have scalability, reliability, all of the security settings that you're used to managing, you can use those skills in the same way with these AI technologies. So that is how you're able to lead with trust as we usher in this new evolution of AI in their platform. And you're doing this with your skills. So I briefly mentioned the Admin Skills Kit. I'm pretty fond of it, worked really hard on it. Actually, you worked harder on it than I did because we developed this with you together. You told us these were the 14 core skills that help make you successful as a Salesforce admin. And what's really amazing about this skills kit is that you can combine these skills in whatever way makes the most sense for you. Let's say maybe you want to specialize as a business analyst. Well, maybe you want to combine some business analysis, change management, and product management skills to really be that amazing BA. Or maybe you really want to focus on kind of the end user experience and being a great designer, so you can focus on developing your designer skill set and user management. This is a choose your own adventure, folks. And you've been using it and putting it to work. But we haven't stopped there. Last year, my amazing podcast co-host, Mike Gerhold, is somewhere in this room. Hi, Mike. So he told you that we were working on more resources for you. And I'm really proud to say that we have started to deliver on those promises. This morning, we released a new series on YouTube all about how you can build your admin skills and how you can hone them and also represent them in your career growth, your career trajectory. It's featuring industry leaders and experts really sharing how you can develop and become successful in this new evolving environment. And we had our first ever meeting of our Admin Skills Advisory Board. And that's how we're getting direct feedback from you on how we can better serve you in this evolution as the demands of you are increasing. And, okay, I want audience participation for this. How many of you work for someone or with someone that does not understand what you do as a Salesforce admin? I think I expected the whole room to raise their hand. So this is really exciting because what we're going to be able to deliver to you is an admin enablement kit that will help you explain the value that you bring to your organization and demonstrate the ROI on investing in you. It's coming soon, I promise. Maybe not by Christmas, but think of it as a gift that we're going to give you soon. And we're developing all these tools to help support you as you evolve, as you succeed. And the thing is, we do this together. Every single thing I just mentioned, we don't do in a silo, we don't do alone, we do it with you. We rely on you as a community to help us grow together. And that is what's so special about the admin community to me. Being an awesome admin is about dedicating yourself to learning new technologies, getting creative in how you solve problems, sharing that knowledge with others to help them also grow and learn. And then here's the amazing thing. When you do that, you become a role model. You become a leader. You become an example and an inspiration for someone else to try a new technology, to build a new solution, share a solution that they built, maybe even try a new career pivot. And to me, that's really what it means to be an awesome admin. Now today, that's okay, you can clap for that, that's fine. I'm talking about all of you, by the way. Today, I really want to acknowledge someone who, to me, very much epitomizes this. Yes, this is the vibe I want. This is the admin keynote, folks. So this person is dedicated to always learning the new technology, getting certified, sharing what they learn with others to help them succeed as well, and becoming a leader in the community. This person has really taken a stand and been an advocate for how important it is to take care of yourself and take care of others, because we are stronger together as humans. And this person has established the first space in our community to acknowledge mental health and mental illness. Everyone, I would please like to welcome to the stage and acknowledge Katie Villanueva. Okay, yep. Katie, you do so many amazing things in the community, and also thank you for being here. It is not easy to get on stage, so I really appreciate that.
It's a little nerve-wracking.
I got you, just talk to me. Don't pay attention to anyone else. So can you tell me a little bit, in your own words, why you do what you do and why it's so important that you give back in the way that you do?
I have bipolar disorder, and I was undiagnosed for a very long time, and I struggled with my emotions, depression, anxiety, and I battled suicidal thoughts. And I got diagnosed around the time I met Salesforce and came into the ecosystem, and I got better. I got help, and I helped myself, but Salesforce was with me along the way, and it brought enrichment to my life, that I saw that I was contributing to something, and I was helping, and I got to be creative in my builds. And I shared my story with the Trailblazer community, and I found that there were a lot of people like me who love Salesforce, but also struggle or have someone in their life that struggles. And we came together and we created this mental health and illness user group, and we get to share resources and education and create meaningful connections. And I just want to say that Salesforce needs its trailblazers. And by allowing us to create this user group that's not just an admin user group or just a developer user group, it's a human user group. Salesforce is signaling to us that it's okay to take care of ourselves so that we can show up and do the job. And I want to thank Salesforce.
You can clap, you can pause, take it in.
I want to thank Salesforce for taking a step to end the stigma of mental illness. And I want to tell other people who are out there with bipolar disorder, who are awesome admins just like me, that they can do the job too, and that there's nothing to stigmatize.
Oh. That's beautiful. Katie, I want to give you another hug. I so appreciate what you do. I appreciate the vulnerability and sharing what you just shared. And I have a little token of appreciation I'd like to give you on behalf of Salesforce. Jen, can you bring up that little thing up here? Katie, welcome to Life with Goldie. Congratulations. Thank you for all that you do. Everybody, Katie Villanueva. I mean, Katie, you are an example of what it is to be human, and to be human is we need each other. We need to do things together, and that's what we're doing here today, both in person and online on Salesforce Plus. I see you too. Don't worry, I'm not forgetting about you. And wow, sorry, I'm just going to take a beat. That was amazing. Katie, you are a phenomenal human being. Thank you. Thank you. So we are all humans. We are all part of this community together. We are all going to tackle these big challenges together, because when we do that together, we're stronger. And today, we're going to talk about some of those challenges and how you're going to tackle them, or we're going to help you. We're going to try. You're going to help each other. We're going to set the stage for you. So today we're going to talk about how you can automate processes, build solutions, and supercharge productivity. All right, are we ready to get started? We ready to go? Yeah? All right, so it is my honor to please welcome up on stage to talk to all about automating processes, SVP of Product Management, John Kucera.
All right, thank you, Jillian, and hello, awesome admins. All right, so we're going to talk about two of my favorite topics today, AI and automation. And, oh my goodness, Katie, your story is amazing. In addition to being an amazing person, what y'all may not know is she's been using business analysis skills and her process automation skills to deliver the future to her company. So let's talk about how all you can use that expertise to bring the future to your company. So what we're going to do today is we're going to walk through some great demos and talk about how, with Flow Builder, you can use process automation in Salesforce. We're going to go through some of the great goodies that are coming in 2 weeks with Winter 24. We also are going to get a fancy sneak peek of how AI is coming to Flow with Einstein for Flow. And so all you ear beavers, that is coming in February, but it's going to be awesome. All right, enough about slides. Maria, are you ready to do some demos? All right, let's do it. All right, so we're going to join our favorite fictional outfitter, Northern Trail Outfitter. Anybody want to go get back with nature, maybe go on some expeditions, do some rock climbing? That's what I'm doing this weekend. And so what we're doing here, we're walking through the before. This is that not so awesome screen flow. What we have here, spinners. We click that next button. Wait, what was on the last screen? Oh, I got to click back. Wait a minute. I want to see the totals. Oh, I can't do that. And many of you have created these great flows, and sometimes we have what we colloquially call flow art. How many of you flownatics out there have flows that are even bigger than this? All right, they go to the side. They have all these actions. They have all these screens. But we can do better. All right, let's show the after. We're going to zoom into the future and talk about how dynamic screens and reactive screens for Flow can help make this manageable, make it awesome, and make a great experience. So in this future, we only have 2 screens. We have taken all of that out. Think about what that does for your manageability. So let's check out that first screen. As we go into this first screen, we see the components talking to each other. When we click on that table, we can have that selection automatically update the other table so that when we're picking an expedition, you can see the available slots. Is that not amazing? We also have, when you're picking the time, wouldn't it be great to have display text also update? But it's not just display text, it's images. It's also the other pieces in it. This makes a great experience. And so let's go to one of those other screens too. It's not just display text, it's not just tables, it's also the humble choices. It's those radio buttons, it's those pick lists. You can set great defaults. When we're going to select that roommate, it can update automatically how many beds do we have in there. But it's not just choices. It's also formulas. How many of you want to do some calculations and show it on the same page without clicking next? That is the future with reactive screens. That is formulas. Formulas are now reactive, thanks to reactive screens. And because I know you all are awesome admins, what do we do once we build some great automation? We test it. All right, let's go to debug. Let's check out this great new process. So here what we're going to do, we're going to walk through how we just awesomeified this screen flow. As we select that record in the first table, the second table automatically updates in real time. As we go in and we select the time slot, look at that. It's beautiful images. It's text, and it's just there. And you did this with clicks. Is this not awesome? But it's not just that. We also have our choices. We're going to put our roommate in there. Let's bring Mochi along. And we set our platonic default to give him a second bed. But it's not just that. We also have our formulas and our calculations. Look at this. We're dragging the slider. We're updating the total in real time. Is this not amazing? All right, huge shout out to the Flow team, to Adam, to everybody that brought this to the future. And folks like Eric, oh my goodness, made so many amazing components that are now reactive. That is the future with reactive screens. But you know what? we can make this even more awesome. We've got some loyalty system that's in a third-party database. We want to bring that over to Flow. How do we do that, right? We want to treat our MVPs, like all of you, as MVPs. But we got to get that data in. So we have the fancy new GA HTTP connector, right? Fancy word for let's get some APIs, let's bring them in. And so the great thing about the HTTP connector, it does most of that transform for you. It then scans the output, it puts it in there, you got your fields. But you know what? We don't want to just bring points in. We want to give you the MVP treatment. We want to say, we know you're a platinum customer. Let's translate those points, those numbers into labels. And to do that, we have the shiny transform element. So with low code, you can drag and drop these fields. You can change from numbers to strings. You can do calculations right from within Flow Builder. This is a killer combo to bring in this third-party data and really modernify and create that MVP experience. All right, so I know I got some Flownatics in the house. And for also our Flownatics and everybody else, wouldn't it be amazing if we could bring a little bit of AI to the experience? All right, so let's get a sneak peek of Einstein for Flow and how you all can build flows super fast. So what we're going to do here, we want to send a follow-up email to all of our Expedition customers 5 days before they go, right? We all like getting reminders. And we only want to do that if it's not canceled. What if you cancel? You don't want to get an email. That's not an awesome admin experience. So you are using your analysis skills. You got this. You know what you do? Requirements. We put our user requirements in a sentence, and it just generated a flow. It translates your requirements, your job, figure out what you want to do, into a flow in seconds. So let's check out that start node. We see that criteria. This is now a scheduled path. It's then firing off 5 days before the expedition. Let's check out that decision that was added. This decision found that criteria. Only do it if it's not canceled. And then let's check out that email. It created a great draft email for us. Your job? Let's make it a little more human, right? Let's make it work for our customers and just zhuzh it up a little bit. And so that's your job. And of course, because you're awesome admins, you're of course going to debug, you're going to test. So this is a great accelerator for you all. This is how you can use your analysis skills to really accelerate creation of all these flows. And I expect next year when we're doing this awesome admin keynote, all of you are going to be Flownatics. This is going to be amazing. So this is the future of AI, and we're super thrilled to bring this back to y'all. All right. So let's just recap what we just saw. We just saw how we can use reactive screens to awesomify those screen flows. We saw you can bring in low-code HTTP and transforms to bring that third-party data in. And we saw how AI can accelerate all your skills. That is the future of automation. Back to you, Jillian.
All right, give it up for John. That was pretty. I have to say, if that existed when I first had to learn how to use Flow, I would be so much better than I am now. So I'm looking forward to that personally. Also, by the way, this is the admin keynote. If you see something on the screen that excites you, that you're pumped about, feel free to let it out. We're okay with cheering. It's okay. It's okay. Also, quick acknowledgement. Our amazing demo drivers today are Michael and Maria. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to keep this train moving. This next chapter is all about how you can build solutions, and I have the honor of welcoming my colleague, the star host of Automate This, Jennifer Lee, to the stage. Come on up, Jennifer.
Hello, awesome admins. As a Salesforce customer for 10 years, I've seen many opportunities to build solutions that ensure our org's data is clean. And when we think about building those solutions, we use a lot of skills, but we're really focusing on data management and problem solving. And for me, it's like this little fun puzzle, trying to figure out how to connect and integrate our data. And for the longest time, integration meant writing code, but not anymore. I have a real-life awesome admin who will show you integration in action. And I had her on as a guest on Automate This earlier this year. Please welcome Myra Wilson from Trimble, Inc. Hi, Myra. I love the outfit. That's so awesome.
Thank you.
Share with us the business challenge that you faced.
So Trimble abruptly lost access to their integration tool, and this resulted in a lot of manual work with transferring data between Salesforce and our ERP system.
Mike, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so this made us have a lot of manual work with transferring data between our ERP system and Salesforce. MuleSoft Composer really helped us save a lot of manual hours and made our end-of-month processing more efficient and more faster.
Now, as admins, there are many ways to build things in Salesforce. Why did you use MuleSoft Composer?
Well, we used MuleSoft Composer because it was easy to implement. It was built on the Salesforce platform, and one of my favorite things is that it has a built-in connector, so it eliminated a lot of the initial setup work.
Myra, can you show us how you tackled this challenge?
Of course, let me show you a demo. Maria, let's get started. So in our sales process, when a sales rep closes a deal, they change the opportunity status to close one. Our finance team then comes into the opportunity and uses a quick action to create a new client record in Salesforce. This kicks off our onboarding process. In the new client record, you can see it's associated to a primary account. And in the primary account, you can see there's a field with the NetSuite customer ID has been automatically populated. This field lets my internal users know that there's a NetSuite customer associated to the Salesforce account. And this field is also used in finance reporting and included in other Salesforce flows. So let me show you how I built this. I used MuleSoft Composer to create an integration with NetSuite without using any code. This means anytime a new client record is created, a Composer flow is triggered. There are 2 steps to this flow. The first step creates the customer record in NetSuite, and the second step maps the Salesforce account with the NetSuite customer ID. And this is a very simple Composer flow to show you all the power of MuleSoft, but there's so much more you can do.
Thanks,
Back
Myra.
to you, Jen.
I loved how you used MuleSoft Composer to integrate NetSuite with Salesforce, all using clicks, not code. Everyone, give a big round of applause for Myra. Thanks, Myra. All right, so you saw 2 ways to integrate data: HTTP callout with Flow and MuleSoft Composer. Now I'm going to show you a 3rd way to integrate your data, using Data Cloud to connect and unify all of your data. And you heard yesterday in the main keynote that now we're offering free tier Data Cloud to all our customers on Unlimited and Enterprise editions. Yeah, you can clap for that. All right, you all ready for a demo? Yeah? Yeah? Michael, you ready? Let's do it. But before I get to the demo, quick question: how many of you work or manage data systems outside of Salesforce? Yeah? See hands? Okay. Well, meet Data Cloud. Connect your external systems with Salesforce and bring all of your data in one place. These are our data streams. They're our connectors, and they provide that continuous stream of data into Data Cloud. And what we're going to do here is map our data. And we're going to take the external system fields and map it to the corresponding fields in the Salesforce object. So we're going to take the loyalty tier field from the contact data lake object and map it to the tier level field of the Salesforce individual object. All right, so now we mapped our data fields. So we connected our data. Data Cloud then harmonizes that data. So we take that loyalty program and the Salesforce and keep it up to date. And what this means is now your systems are up to date, and you can deliver magical customer experiences, just like we're doing here at NTO. So now that we've harmonized the data, we're going to bring it all together in a unified customer profile. So here we're going to go to Devon's contact record. And we see not only our CRM data, but we also see the loyalty program information from that external system, as well as Einstein Insights for likelihood to spend and engagement score. And this is important because your reps no longer need to swivel between systems to get access to that data. And when a rep pulls up Devon's contact record, they see that he's an MVP, so they can customize that experience and truly make it magical. But admins, we're not stopping there. We're going to use Data Cloud to make that experience even more magical with automation. All right, so I'm going to take a moment here and geek out because you know I love to talk about flow. And there's really some cool things that you can do with Data Cloud when you bring in that data into your flow. And here, we're going to use it to make a decision and determine whether we're going to show MVP exclusive expeditions that are only available to our top-tier customers. But how do you react to activity that's in Data Cloud that's not in your CRM? And because we've connected that data in those data streams, we can react to any data changes that we see in the Data Cloud in our flows. So here's how. Now remember that data loyalty program data stream that we connected? Well, we're going to tap into that. And anytime there's a change to the customer's loyalty status, we're going to update the contact record to reflect that change. And we're going to send them an automated email letting them know that they've reached a new level. And this is all done real time. And I know that I get all the feels when I get an email that celebrates the fact that I reached a new milestone. But the emails in Flow aren't automatically tracked in the customer's activity timeline, which means we don't have that complete picture of what the customer is experiencing. But we can fix that. So with a quick toggle of login email, all of our emails are now automatically tracked in the customer's activity timeline. Yeah. So now this means that our reps have that complete picture of what's going on. We're getting that loyalty program updates real time, and we're sending out the email letting our customers know when they reach a milestone. And all of this is done using a combination of Data Cloud and Flow. All right, so now we're going to switch gears, and we're going to talk about data cleanliness. And I know that's not a really fun, glamorous topic to talk about, but it's super important to ensuring that your business runs efficiently. And AI can dramatically change the way that you manage your customer relationships. But AI relies on data that's complete, accurate, updated, and accessible. Bad data in, bad data out. So focus on data management now. And one of the best tools to do that is validation rules. And here, we're using a validation rule so that when we set the preferred communication method on a contact, that the corresponding field is required. So when our contact Devon prefers email, the email field is required. And when it's not, we're going to show them a nice error message letting them know what the problem was. So other data cleanliness tools include duplicate matching rules, pick lists, as well as running data audits using reports and dashboards. Now, there are many features that you can use to keep your org's data clean. And validation rules, as you just saw, was the easiest of those tools to ensure your users do not input bad data. But you can also use Flow to ensure that your users don't change data when they shouldn't. But sometimes Flow doesn't show error messages that make sense to our users, right? So thanks to 18,000 of you who told us this was a problem on the Idea Exchange and Truth of the Core, we now have a way to show our users what the problem is and why they can't perform an action. All right, yes, clap for that. All right, so let me quickly show you how. So as an operations manager, sometimes we might need to delete a record, an expedition slot. But if there are participants signed up, we shouldn't. So we're going to have a record-triggered flow that fires off when someone tries to delete a record. We're then going to first check to see if it has participants and whether it's open. And if it does, we're going to show an error message letting them know what the problem is. So let's take a look at that error message. And that's a new error element that we've added to Flow. And we're going to have it configured to show on the record page of that expedition slot. And we're going to customize that error message and pull in merge fields. All right, so we're going to take a look at this in action. We're going to go to the expedition slot page. And we're going to pretend that there's an expedition slot page. I'm going to hold for this because this is cool. All right, we're going to delete it and mic drop. That's our custom error message, clearly showing us the problem. That was worth the wait. And that's how you use validation rules, flow, and custom error messages to keep your org's data clean and your users informed. All right, my friends, I just showed you a lot in that demo. So let me give you a quick recap. We use Data Cloud to bring in data from various siloed systems all in one place and take action on it. And we implemented data cleanliness tools with validation rules and custom error messages in our processes. And that's how you build solutions to drive the future of business. Back to you, Jillian.
Great job, Jen. Great job, Jen. Okay, we're going to keep moving. We got a lot more to get through. So right now, we're going to supercharge this keynote, and we're going to supercharge productivity with the one and only Kushwant Singh. Come on up here.
All right, well, thanks, Jillian. And hello, friends. Wow, you are such a fun audience. How about a round of applause for all of yourselves? Come on. Such a fun audience. Now, my teams and I work on Salesforce's experience platform, which encompasses everything pertaining to experience creation, access, and delivery. And you, my lovely admins, are a critical customer as we think about supercharging productivity. As such, there are two skills from the admin skill set that really stand out: user management and designer's mindset. And to learn more about these skills, let's welcome one of your own from the admin community. Please welcome Kat Aquino from the LA 28 Olympics and Paralympic Games. Come on up, Kat. How are you, Kat?
Hey, Coach.
Good. How's Dreamforce treating you so far?
Really good. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, that's outstanding. Now, tell us about the challenge that you've faced at work.
Sure. Well, at LA 28, there are multiple teams that work on venues, but they didn't have a shared view of those venues, so they were duplicating work.
Well, that's a gnarly challenge.
It can be.
Can you show us how you solved it?
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit about this is, as an admin for the LA 28 Olympic and Paralympic Games, I have some unique challenges to solve. One of them is venue management. And sustainability for us is really a key priority because we're looking to use only existing LA venues within the area. So I want to, yeah, go ahead, totally, clap. And so I want to focus on a couple of teams here. We have one team that plans the venues for the games, and then we have another that's organizing the events that lead up to those games. Now, these two teams are using venues, and they were using complicated spreadsheets and duplicating work. So I created an app to make it easier for them to manage venues.
That's pretty phenomenal. Shall we see it in action?
Yeah, let's do it. And Maria, love to see you repping LA 28. Let's get into the demo. All right, so we're taking a look at a record page for a venue here, and we have some basic info like standing capacity and seating capacity. We also have a venue address, but we also track usage. That means, is it a games venue or is it an event space? For games venues, we show the game venue specific section and the sport discipline section. We also have facility contacts and related organizations that appear here as junction objects and are visualized as related lists. So if we go to the usage and change it to an event space, we'll notice that the games venue specific and sport discipline sections disappear. So we're showing the right data at the right time. Let me tell you how I did this.
Very cool.
So it was too much to manage multiple page layouts and record types, so I used dynamic forms to create one page for all my users. It lets me show the right data to my users that they need based on the data in the record. So let's go into App Builder. All right, so here's App Builder. Here's the canvas where you can build your page. Over here are the components that you can drag and drop onto the canvas. And on the right, we have the properties for each of those components. With dynamic forms, you can create field sections and drag and drop fields anywhere you want. You can also set field attributes. So for venue address, we have it set as read-only. And fields and sections can also appear based on certain conditions. And here, the games venue section only appears when the usage is a games venue. And we also have dynamic actions. That allows us to show the right actions at the right time. And here, the delete button only appears when my user's department is venues and delivery, and when the usage is set to not equal to an event space. So that's how I used App Builder and dynamic forms to create and unify multiple spreadsheets and create one page to manage a really complex process. And I will be doing a deeper dive of this in my session tomorrow at 10 a.m., so please join me there to learn more.
Well, Kat, this is quite an outstanding app, and I think what's just as impressive is that you and your team found a way to drive a positive environmental impact as well. So thank you, Kat. How about a round of applause for Kat and her team? Now, let's dive a little deeper and show you how you as an admin can supercharge your productivity using App Builder, dynamic forms, and user access management, all on desktop and mobile. And to do so, let's jam with Michael at the demo desk. Now we're back on our Expedition record page, which will be up very shortly. There you go. It's got plenty of very rich information, a little too rich. I mean, it's kind of hella complex. I mean, just take a look at it. It's so much information that our reps are actually struggling to find the information that they really need. And so let's go ahead and fix this using the App Builder. Now, the first problem that our reps face is they can't find open slots easily. And so to fix this, we're going to use a dynamic related list that you see Michael dragging on the canvas. Let's go ahead and add another field to act as another column. And to make these slots really stand out, let's filter this list so that it only shows the open Expedition slots. Now, we can also add mass quick actions onto dynamic related lists so that our reps can make quick updates. Now, this is something that all of you prioritized really high last year, and we've delivered it this winter. Now, the next problem that our reps are facing is we've got fields in all of the wrong sections. And because we're using dynamic forms, we can go ahead and easily move fields into their relevant sections, as you see Michael do over here with the description field. We can also control UI behavior. So for instance, we may want the price field to be read-only or to be required for that matter. The final problem that our reps are facing is information overload. This page is just not as relevant as it should be. And because we're using dynamic forms, we can use visibility rules to control who sees what and when. So for instance, we want the event here field to only show up when the MVP Expedition field value is set to yes. Now, as of this past summer, dynamic forms was generally available for about 6 to 7 objects. But as promised last Dreamforce, dynamic forms this winter is generally available for over 1,000 standard objects. But that's not all. It's also generally available on mobile. And let's show it to you. You can clap. There you go. Well, it starts off by enabling it in setup, and now we've got our mobile device. This is our Salesforce mobile app. And as we start to navigate it, you see all of the changes that we did in App Builder reflect over here. And let's go ahead and edit this page and change the MVP expedition field value to yes. And what that does is that it triggers the event tier field to be activated, and you can go ahead and make all of these changes. Now, we've been investing in dynamic forms on both desktop and mobile for the last few releases, and we truly want to thank you for your patience. But at this moment, I want to take a moment to recognize Julie Thompson, Andrew Mangiano, and their entire design, engineering, product teams. Julie, Andrew, are you here? Can you stand up? Oh, there you go. There they are. All right. Excellent. So now let's switch gears and touch on user access management. We have to ensure that the only ones who can manage expeditions are operation managers. And as such, we need a security model that applies the principle of least privilege to everyone, but gives operation managers special access to the MVP expedition field value. And as you can see over here, we can do this using a permission set and a permission set group that you see Michael activating over here. Since we're on this page, let's go and learn more about this permission set. New in winter, based on all of your feedback to reduce the number of clicks, we have a single view giving you a summary of everything within a permission set. The users, the objects, the field permissions, everything. And we even have the team that brought this to life in the house. Where's Cheryl Fellman, Larry Tung? Where are you? There you go. How about a round of applause for this team? They're just brilliant. It's a labor of love, truly. Now, we showed you how you could supercharge your productivity using the App Builder, mobile, and user access management. Now, let's show you how you can push the needle even further with Einstein and Prompt Builder. Let's show it to you. We're back on our contact page for Devon, where as a sales rep, I can now use Einstein to help create an email for me. Now, fundamental to our philosophy of AI at Salesforce is to always have the human in the center. So you see that the model's returned with a proposed email, but the sales rep is in control to preview it, to customize it before sending it out. Now, let's show you how Prompt Builder enabled all of this. We start off by first creating a prompt template of type email and associating the appropriate objects to it. Next, we start to author the instructions for this prompt template, and this is where we enable you to securely include and ground your company CRM into this prompt, starting off with a few merge fields like you see over here. And we can also include flow, and this is where we get to really educate the AI. Let's go behind the scenes. With Flow, we can pull in data from anywhere, inside or outside of Salesforce, to provide the prompt with rich and contextual information. As you can see over here, where we're looking across all of the events, all of the expeditions, to recommend the one that's closest to Devon's location. Back in Prompt Builder, let's go ahead and add Devon as a contact and execute the prompt template to do two things. One, on the left, very shortly, you'd see what is the actual resolved prompt into the AI model, given all of the data that we know about Devon. And on the right, what is the actual response from the AI, or rather, what is the personalized recommendation that the prompt, that the AI model is actually suggesting, as you can see here. Now, the human's always in the center, which means I'm in the center, which means that I want to have some emojis, and I'm going to have some emojis. So let's go ahead and throw in some emojis, because we can never have enough of them. And while this is executing, I have to stress that we do this with the highest levels of trust. No data is left behind in any of these models because of our zero data retention policies. And so you see, we've got our proposed email, it's got the emojis, and life is damn good. All right, but that's not all. Let's go back to our expedition record. And let's go to edit this. Let's go to the description field. Now, with a single click, Einstein can help now generate field values. In this case, the description. It's proposing it. The human's in the center. Let's go ahead and make it shorter, funnier, longer. You're in full control. Now, let's show you how Prompt Builder enabled this as well. This time, we're using a field generation prompt template to create that description. Next, we go into App Builder, where because we're using a dynamic form, we can easily associate that field generation prompt template to this particular description field. And that's it. It's as simple as that, and it's as powerful as that. Prompt Builder will be in pilot next month, generally available in spring, and we're confident you'll love it. Now, we showed you a lot. That was quite a ride. We touched on so much. And so let's summarize and spend a moment on just reflecting on what we just saw. The efficiency is to supercharge your productivity using the App Builder, mobile, user access management, Einstein, and Prompt Builder are truly substantial. And finally, trust is our #1 value, and we truly value your feedback as we blaze new trails with Einstein together. Thank you, friends, and back to you, Jillian.
Everybody give it up for Kush. We did a lot today in this keynote. We automated processes, we built solutions, we supercharged productivity. Your Dreamforce has just begun. Make sure you visit us downstairs in the admin meadow. Make sure you check out our amazing sessions, theater sessions, breakout sessions. Make sure that you also check out the trail mix after your learning here is over. And then the most important thing, Release Readiness Live for Admins is live in person tomorrow, 12:30, just downstairs. Salesforce Plus, get your questions ready too, because we're broadcasting it live as well. So make sure you make that. Feedback is a gift. We tried to give you some gifts today. Please give us a gift of feedback. I'm serious. We really look at these results. We need you to tell us how we did. So thank you all so much. I hope you feel empowered to deliver the future of business, which to me is so bright.